Awesome. Okay. So coming back. So our observation says that pretty much they have already conducted our round one. So they are confident that this applicant, whosoever has applied, it is matching whatever skill set as far as the job description of that role is concerned. But the catch here is, as far as the round one is concerned, the major focus at that point is just theories or high level understanding of business analysis. And based upon that, they're considering you for the round two. So the thought process I want all of you to understand here is that as far as case study round is concerned, we call this as a practical round. So why do I call this as a practical round? Again, the reason being, they are not going to ask you question on what is a BRD, what is gap analysis. They have already questioned all those pointers to you in the round one. And they are observing maybe you are good with those concepts. And that was the reason of they have shortlisted you for the case study. But now their focus is going to shift from what to how, which means, let's say you would have explained that how a BRD is different from a PRD in terms of methodology, in terms of the content you capture and all. Now they are actually asking you to create those documentation to see how good you are in terms of those documentation skills and all that. That is where one of the major focus in case study is it is going to be a practical round followed by the focus have shifted from what to how. How many of you are able to understand up to what I've covered with the thought process and case study, that why do we consider this as practical round? Let me know in the comment if you are clear on the thought process, that what is the expectation of the companies. They are not expecting you to just know what is a BRD. They are expecting you to know how to create BRD. Are you clear on this thought process? All of us? Yes or no? All of us? Really quick? Okay, cool. Now, so we can talk about situational behavioral round later point, but as of now, my entire focus is on case study. Now, team, look at this. If I talk about typical case study round, the observation says, all of you, please pay attention. Please pay attention and look at this thought process. Then only you will be able to understand that what all types of case studies companies are giving. And then later point in time, I'm going to talk about how we can leverage AI to solve those case studies. Look at this. If I talk about business analyst role, you need to understand business analysis always go in a parallel sync with software development lifecycle. Reason, majority of the organization, irrespective of whichever methodology they are using or following in their existing project structure and all, their expectation from BA is helping the client as far as digital transformation is concerned. When I talk about digital transformation, in one word, if I have to say, what is the output that we are expecting? Output is nothing but software solution. And that software solution, it can be web application, website, CRM, ERP, mobile application, any of those. So for a BA, in order to facilitate efficiently as far as the expectations are concerned, there is no negotiation. You must understand how does software development lifecycle works in parallel sync with business analysis. And what do I mean by that? What is the precise roles and responsibility of a business analyst as far as different stages of software development lifecycle is concerned? And having that said, as I was keep on telling you, you need to understand that gone are the days when you are just considering one different model. Let's say, you might be in the assumption that companies are still using waterfall methodology, or you believe they are still using agile scrum. Let me tell you, majority of the organizations have already shifted their gear to hybrid methodology. Those who joined my last session I conducted, I think 2 weeks back, they're pretty much clear with what is hybrid methodology. And let me tell you this, 90% of the projects you're working right now, you need to understand no company is 100% using waterfall or 100% agile scrum. They have shifted to hybrid methodology. And having that said, again, now if I take you through, all of you please pay attention. If I take you through what is the core essential expected out of each BAs, irrespective of which methodology. I would say you as a BA, you must have basics and fundamental understanding of what documentations or deliverables we are creating in which particular methodology. And why do I say that? I am not denying to the fact that we cannot leverage AI in business analysis, but today I will make you realize that if you are not going to again help those GPTs different again prompts with the right input, you will never be able to extract the desired output. And for you to come up with the good or the excellent prompting, if you do not have understanding of what is the table of content of each of these documentations that we consider, it will be difficult for you to use AI. Reason, as far as the inputs are concerned, you as a BA is feeding inputs to whatever platforms or GPT you're using. So the prerequisite for you is that you must have understanding of different deliverables versus different methodology. And now let me ask you two questions that will give you enough clarity of why this particular thought process is important. Let me ask you two questions. My first question is that I'm pretty sure all of you might be aware of use cases. My question is, if I talk about use case diagram and use case specification, go through these deliverables and tell me, out of these documentations or deliverables I have listed down, which one is going to have use case diagram and which one is going to have use case specification. If you want, I can also filter out those options. Let me give you the option. My question is, let's first talk about use case diagram. So as per your thought process, use case diagram, whether it should be part of a BRD, it should be part of a FRD, it should be part of a SRS, it should be a part of PRD, it should be part of scope document. So all of you, let me know your response in the comment section. All of you. In which of these documents we are going to map use case diagram? All of you, let me know in the comment section. BRD, FRD, SRS, FRD, scope document. All of you, think about it. Okay, now let me ask you another one. My question, use case specification is going to be part of which document? Again, the options are pretty much same. BRD, FRD, SRS, PRD, scope document. Think about it. Use case specification is going to be part of which documents? Let me know. Use case specification. Okay. Okay, cool. Now let me ask you the last one. My question is, if I talk about PRD, PRD is a document we follow in waterfall, agile scrum, or hybrid. Let me know in the comment. Which method are we going to follow the concept of PRD? Is it waterfall, agile scrum, or hybrid? All of you, let me know your response in the comment section. This is the exact confusion I'm trying to make all of you understand. If you are not clear with these basic concepts, and team, I will show you, if you are using any GPTs are always biased until unless you at your level is not clear that when you are documenting any of these, what is going to be the table of content. Believe me on this. It can also be, okay, let me ask you a last question and then I'll show that to you live when we'll be doing that prompt engineering in that GPTs and all. Let me ask you a question. Is it possible that in a business requirement document, we are documenting user stories along with detailed acceptance criteria? Is it a good practice? Yes or no in the comment section. In the business requirement document, we are documenting user stories with detailed acceptance criteria. Is it a good practice? Team, believe me on this. I can make GPT's bias to write user stories acceptance criteria in our BRD. That is why you need to understand, while you are using AI, as far as your role as business analyst concerned, if this is not in your control, what all inputs you are giving to GPTs, you cannot expect the desired output. So what I'm trying to make all of you understand, you as a business analyst should have you should be crystal clear with the table of content, what we have to document in which methodologies and all, and only then you will be able to leverage AI in business analysis as far as documentation approach is concerned. How many of you agree that this is making sense to all of you? Let me know in the comment section. Is it making sense? That unless we do not have that clarity, that which document, what should be the table of content, what is the level of detail we have to capture, difficult for us to use AI and all, because we are the one using AI to any of those platforms that you can think of, whichever model, whichever tool. Okay, and I will give you that validation when we'll go through the prompt engineering and all that. Cool. Let's go ahead and now look at the case studies. As you are pretty clear on the thought process that important for us to have basic and fundamental understanding of deliverable versus methodology. Okay, now going ahead, let's understand what is the DNA structure of a case study. I will show you some real case studies and all. Don't worry about it. I will also show you the solution, that what is the level of clarity companies are expecting part of the solution of the case studies. I'll go on that. But before that, let's understand what is the DNA structure. So all of you, please pay attention. The first skill that companies are trying to understand, observe is how good you are in terms of documentation skill. Second is, are you able to understand the business context with the given problem statement? How good you are in terms of problem solving. And I will again show you in the case study how the companies are trying to check these skill sets and all that. Followed by what all choice of tools are you using? So team, look at this. You might be thinking, Dibanshu, if we can use AI, why you are still mentioning that we should be using some BA tools? I will make you realize this in today's session that it is not just about AI. AI can help you in a lot of ways, but as of now, I will still recommend all of you to go old school and use the right BA tools. By the time we are reaching that level with just pretty much few prompts and all, you're able to come up with the desired output as far as a few deliverables. For example, if I talk about wireframe is concerned. So I will show that to you in a while. That why do I say that? We are leveraging AI, but still as of now, at least for next 3 months, you still have to go old school. I will talk about that with example when we'll be using those prompts and all, and we'll ask GPTs to create some wireframes and all that. So you'll understand that in a while. Okay. Followed by your excellent presentation skill. Because if you look at a case study, I will show you again a few case study in a while. The expectation is you are given maybe 3 days of time. You are given maximum 1 week of time. You have to solve that case study, and then pretty much you have to present or demonstrate that maybe in front of a panel. Maybe having, again, depends. It can be 2 members or it can be 5 members in that panel who are going to go through the solution. And then they're going to ask you that, again, why you have documented in certain way, why that table of content is missing, all of those. And of course, as far as all of these skill sets are concerned, one of a core skill, the most important is the communication skill. That's why I say PAs, if they are not good at people skills, pretty much this job is difficult for you. So that is where these are those skills that are required. And when we'll go through that case study solution and all that, you'll be able to understand that why these skills are again getting tested as far as the practical round, to which we're calling case study round for business analysts are concerned. Now, let's understand the nature of case study, all of you. When I say case study is a practical round, there are 2 ways of companies try to check your practical skills. First is they are going to give you a problem statement then and there. Second, offline. What do I mean by then and there? Maybe in that given interview, they will share their screen. The interviewer is sharing their screen, and they will take you through their existing process, some module that they are using, and they might ask you to identify gaps. That can you go through this module and tell us that what all fields we can optimize. So pretty much identify gaps, optimize a few UI field. They are giving you a problem statement, and again, looking at what is going to be your solution to that given problem statement. It can be as easy as, talking about one organization having manual inventory management. and how we can use smart inventory management to sort out whatever delays are happening with maintaining their stock of spare parts and all of that. Pretty much, they can ask you to, again, do a live research work. Let's say they are, again, telling you one of a domain then and there, and they're asking that this is the problem statement. Can you share your screen and show us that how are you going to do research work given 2 days of time? So all of those are the live problems that they are giving, and they are interested in seeing that as far as those live problems are given, what is going to be your way to resolve and all that. And it can also be that they are asking you, again, they are giving you one given feature, saying this is going to be integrated with one of a module. So as a business analyst, if you have to talk to stakeholder client, can you tell us what all questions that you're going to ask in order to understand that feature, again, implementation on a high level or maybe at a detailed level? So these are those live problems that they are giving you and asking you to solve then and there, giving 10, 15, 20 minutes of time and all that. Now, the second type of case study is offline, which means after you are qualifying the round one, you are going to receive email. They will attach the case study or the problem statement, and they might ask you to create any of these documentation, draw wireframe, write user story, use case, gap analysis, perform competitive analysis. They're going to give you 2 days, 3 days, a week of time, and then you have to submit your response. So these are the two types of case studies. It can be a live problem or it can be a offline scenario. Now, team, what is the validation to these two scenarios that I'm again explaining, live problem or the offline scenario? So if you look at the screenshot, pretty much my alumni. So if you look at this, one of my alumni while appearing for interview, Deloitte Unisys. So she's saying I was not given any case studies or assignment, but with one startup, again, it was shared and then she shared one for case study. Followed by one of my another alumni, Nilesh, if you go through, I had given one interview yesterday at ThoughtWorks where they have given one case study, but again, Wells Fargo, whatever. So what all that I'm discussing part of today's, again, session, all of these inputs are captured from my alumni. So as of now, we have 500 plus alumni working for Big Four and top MNCs. You can go check my website. And if you think any of those connections can help you, pretty much their profile is also mapped, their LinkedIn profile. You can go ahead and ask them how was their interview experience and all of that. And maybe they can help you with some interview question well in advance, but again, subjective to their availability. By the way, team, we are also making sure that we are creating a central repository where we are able to share a few questions, what all we are getting from alumni and all. And it is helping all of you in part of, again, the BA community so that you can leverage and you can be better prepared, better equipped, again, to face your interview journeys as far as these companies are concerned and all that. Okay, so going back, as I was saying that these are two different types of case study, let me take you back and get a confirmation on something. So team, what I'm trying to explain all of you right now is that it can either be a live problem statement that companies are giving, one, or they are giving you 2 days, 3 days, or a week of time, and then you have to solve, submit back your case study. So my question, all of you, are you clear on two scenarios that I'm trying to explain? Live problem and the offline scenario. All of you, yes or no in the comment. Are we clear on this thought process? That it can either be a live problem or it can be a offline scenario. All of us, yes or no? Clear on these two? All of us? Okay, cool. Now, let's go ahead and look at a few case studies. So look at this. When I talk about, again, the offline scenario, they have attached case studies and expectation is to solve and maybe submit it back in a week of time from Magaro, another organization, if you observe, again, FNF. So this is the case study that I give again. So in the PIBA program that, again, we run, Practical Insights of Business Analysis, one of the process that I follow is, before someone is enrolling in my program, I ask them to solve this case study. I will show you this case study as well. That, again, a case study which was given by FNF India, a good company to work with. So I will show you that this case study was given by the organization, given pretty much 2 days, 3 days, 1 week of time and all. And it was expected that you have to revert back and all. So what I'm again and again trying to tell you, team, is that as far as solving the case study is concerned, the major challenge for all of you is you lack clarity. And that is where I'm going to show you one or two case study. We'll look at the solution and we'll also understand that how we can leverage AI. But before that, as I'm showing you a few of these email, the intention is just to make sure that all of you are understanding that this is what do I mean by saying offline scenarios and all. So if you now look at, again, case studies, all of you, this is from one of our startup. This startup Indore. I will not name the company, but again, this was shared by one of our startup. Now, if all of you go through this problem statement, all of you take a minute of time. All of you take 1 minute of time. Read the problem statement, all of you. Read the problem statement. Or what I'll do is I will give you unmute access and yes, I will ask one of you to give it a read. Avinash, can you read the problem statement for all of us?
Ollie has a play area where 4 TT board has been introduced recently. The board provides students an option for refreshment during break time or any idle time. Currently, the only way students can check who among the fellow mates are looking for a game is by asking individually. Also, there is no way to track when a TT board is free and when they are occupied. All the students from all streams of the students of bachelor's and master degrees process are entered in to use the TT boards.
Thank you so much, Avinash.
Yes.
That should be all. Thank you so much. Okay, now all of you, we just went over the problem statement. Now, all of you pay attention to the first serial number that they have attached in this problem statement. Now, what they are expecting us to do is, if you observe, look at this. This is very important for all of you to understand. If you are going through this given problem statement, it is saying you have to create a high-level requirement document for the application, which clearly states the feature which can be consumed by both user of the application and the implementation team. Now, my question is, have they clearly stated which deliverable you have to create? Have they clearly stated or they have just given you a hint? Let me know in the comment. Have they clearly stated which deliverable or document you have to create? Or they have just given you a hint? Is it clearly stated? It's only hint given. Now, team, all of you think about it. All of you think about it. If they are saying high-level requirement document for the application, which clearly states the feature which can be consumed by both user of the application and implementation team, can you tell me what is going to be the name of that deliverable you have to create? If this is the ask, because they have not stated whether you have to create a BRD, FRD, SRS, PRD, whatever. So my question, what is going to be that piece of info? What is going to be the name of that document you have to create? Think about it logically and respond back. What is going to be the name of that deliverable which you will create? Think about it. Which can be consumed by both user of the application and the implementation. Think about it, all of you. Now, team, if you are saying BRD, I'm afraid to say in a business requirement document, it is not going to make a lot of sense to the implementation team because you're not capturing those details in that detailed manner. It is just going to capture about maybe business requirement and the stakeholder requirement. It is never going to talk about the implementation details and all that. So think about it. Think about it, all of you. One of you said user story. Which document will you create the user story? That is the question. So what is your observation, team? Companies are going to filter out. So think it this way. Let's say 15 of the applicants have tried solving this case study. Believe me, it will hardly take 1 minute of time for them to reject your solution depending upon what is the name of that document or the table of content you have created, depending upon if it's a BRD, if it's a FRD, or if it's a PRD, or maybe if it's a SRS. So if you're not clear which document, considering the problem statement, given again, considering a few other hints that they have given in 2 and 3, because look at this, they have also said the solution is open-ended. Therefore, please make valid assumption and state those. So if you're able to explain that what assumptions you have made while choosing any of these documentations, that is their primary ask. So team, what is your observation? Most of you are going to fail in the initial 1 minute. Reason, they are not clearly stating what is the name of that document. How many of you are able to understand the thought process that I'm trying to give? That they are not mentioning the name of that documentation, have just given the hint, and you have to identify which document is going to be one such deliverable, which is consumed by both the user of the application and the implementation team, where you should also have the understanding of which methodology to follow as far as this given problem statement is concerned, which you are going to mention what all assumptions you have made while solving that problem statement. How many of you are able to understand this thought process? That this job is not as easy as it looks. That you will pretty much jump onto that, again, case study to solve and all. Are you clear on this, team? That this is not as easy as it looks. They are pretty much giving you hints, and then they are rejecting your case study in 1 minute of time if you don't have that level of clarity. So that is what do I mean by saying clarity is utmost important. And that is where, team, I was saying, if I take you back to that slide again, I said that if you are not clear with which deliverable, what detail, which methodology, you will not be able to leverage AI. You will not be, because, team, I'll tell you this. If you want to ask that question to chat GPT, you give it a try. It will still not be able to give you a very clear understanding. It can even tell you a BRD, FRD, SRS, PRD. It is that biased. It depends on what all, again, content you have already exchanged with that, again, GPTs, what kind of input sharing and all that you have made in the past. So it is very, very, very important for each one of you. Very, very important that you are first having end-to-end clarity on these and which method and at which level, what should be table of content. Team, let me ask you a question. I want all of you to be honest. If I ask this to you on scale of 5, how much confident you are these deliverable versus these methodology? Let me know in the comment section how much confident you are on scale of 5 that you actually know what all discussions we are doing. Table of content versus deliverable versus methodology on scale of 5. How much confident you are? I can see 3 is the max. Shruti, Padmavati, Alan 2.5, Sheikh saying 2, Radha saying 2, others 3.5. One of you saying 2, Ramesh saying 3, others. I want each one of you to respond. Then I'll go to the real concepts. Ketki said 2. What else? Others. Shivam said 2. I want each one of you to respond. Then I'll go to the next slide. Takil said 2. Pranali said 2. Now, team, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. The bare minimum it requires is 4 and above. Believe me, because it is not as easy, and it seems that pretty much you will solve a case study using AI and all. Unless you do not have this level of clarity, you use whatever GPTs, you use whatever AI platforms, whatever model, it is still not going to solve the problem state. So you as a business analyst should be aware of all these. This is the prerequisite. And only then you will be able to leverage AI the way I'm going to guide all of you with. All right. But team, let's now go ahead because this was important for me to talk about those expectations and then to talk about the real concepts, the agenda as part of today's session and all that. Cool. So now as we move ahead and we have understood the prerequisite. Okay. Another case study, if you observe, this is that same case study I was saying that coming from FNF. One quick second. Okay. So I want all of you again to go through this case study as well. Take a minute of time, all of you. Look at what is the ask in this case study, and then we'll try to use the prompt engineering. We'll observe that what all ways we can leverage AI or GPTs to solve these problem statements and all that. All of you go through this. Take 1 minute of time, read it. If you need, I can give you 2 minutes of time, whatever, but give it a read, all of you. Take 2 minutes, give it a read, all of us. What is the ask in this case study? I will go on mute so that all of you are able to focus. Last 1 minute. Make sure all of you go through this. Only then you will be able to understand the prompt engineering in this, the GPT psychology. Okay, I'll ask one of you to give it a read. Abhijit, can you unmute yourself and give it a read, the problem statement? Yes.
Customers require the application with UI screen which does auto calculation based the data filled in UI. UI should contain option for entering name and select city, city, loan type, and free flow text box. And it should have option to fill loan amount, interest rate, and tenure. UI should have OK and cancel button and pop to show result of calculation. If user selecting none from the drop down of city and loan type, it should not allow user to update free flow text. Once user update all the data and submit, it should do calculation and provide EMI amount, total interest, total amount payable with interest. Condition on calculations. If the loan type is selected as fixed rate, it should calculate all based of fixed rate. And if it's variable, it should calculate based on variable method. If the selected state is Karnataka and Goa, it should provide one EMI discount.
Yes.
Please create.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Abhijit. Yes.
Yeah. Please create below documents and share with HR. Please rewrite all the requirements in proper format of requirements documentation. Please draw workflow diagram. Please draw use case diagram. Please create wireframes. And please write user stories.
Thank you so much, Abhijit. Thanks for reading that out for us. Okay. Now, all of you, please pay attention. If I ask you the same question I asked in the last case study, in this case study, have they given us a hint or they have already mentioned what all deliverables you have to create? Option 1 or option 2? Is this clearly defined what all deliverables you have to create? Or they have given us a hint, 1 or 2? So the response to that is, good job, team. They have clearly mentioned what all deliverables are expected out of you to create. And that is where now the question is, what is the level of clarity we have as far as these documentations are concerned? Let me give you a thought process, team, all of you. Let me give you a thought process that while someone is trying to go over your solution, what all pointers they look at. So if I just look at the user story, let's say use case, for example. So you are going to create use case diagram. I'm pretty sure you might be aware of a concept. We call it include and extend relationship. My question to all of you is, all of you, look at the question, observe very carefully what I'm going to ask. By the way, this question was asked in an interview, EY, recently with, again, to one of my alumni. The question was, while we are documenting or mapping use case diagram, is it required that we are using the concept of include and extend relationship? What is your response? Yes or no? Let me know in the comment. So while mapping use case diagram, are we going to use the concept of include and extend relationship? Yes or no in the comment section. Yes or no in the comment section. Is it recommended? Yes or no in the comment section. Okay, all those who have said yes, let me ask you another one. Think about it very wisely. Let's say you are using a use case diagram to take sign off from your stakeholder, where you have complicated that diagram using the concept of include and extend. How many of you agree that if we have made it little complicated using those jargons, include, extend, and mapping those relationships and mapping and all that, it might be difficult for you to take sign off on those documentation from the stakeholder? Reason, there are a lot of jargons that we have used. How many of you agree that this can be difficult for us to take sign off from the stakeholder? Agree? Yes or no? That it can be complicated. Okay, my question. How many of you agree that include and extend is making more sense for the implementation team instead the stakeholder? That if you're doing it for the implementation, it is giving them more clarity, but it's not making a lot of sense for the stakeholder. Agree? Yes or no? Not a team. This is exact thought process. I am helping all of you understand that. If you are not clear with while you document use case diagram, whether to use include or extend, let's say you are coming up with a user story and then you are creating a checklist or you are using the BDD model, behavior driven data. Let me tell you, gone are the days you are creating checklist, gone are the days you are creating BDD. Now the companies are expecting you to come up with a detailed acceptance criteria. I call it spoon feeding the implementation team and all that. So team, before we go ahead and look at how to solve these case study, this thought process is very, very important for all of you to understand that clarity is something. Until unless you do not have clarity with whatever deliverable documentations you are creating, what should be the table of content along with the logic? Because think it this way, in the interview, if you are not going to map, include and extend relationship in a use case diagram, they might question you that, hey, can you tell us why we have not used the concept of include and extend in a diagram? To which you can justify showing them your use case specification where there is a dedicated section you have created where you are now mapping include. And if you are able to give them a proper justification, I do not see a challenge of you succeeding in those interviews. So team, it is not just about solving the case study for the sake of solving. It is about having that in-depth clarity. Only then we will be able to reach that state and all that. Now, let's go ahead and look at how we can leverage chat GPTs and all that. So this is the problem statement. I'm going to pull up chat GPT. Okay. Is my screen visible? All of you can see the chat GPT 5, the instant model that I'm using, all of us. I want to compare different prompts so that all of you are understanding the concept that I'm trying to deliver and you can leverage these, again, prompts and all. And by the way, team, I'll talk about different prompts. I've already created this list of prompts, followed by, I'm also going to talk about some tools along with some recommendation. But before that, I want all of you to understand that how does the psychology of this GPT works. Only then you'll be able to leverage this. I won't have to even spoon feed you with all those concepts. If you understand that how this GPT works with different prompts that we are going to use, your job is pretty much sorted. So what I'll do, I'll just pull up this. And then as you can see, a lot of prompts scenarios that we have covered in this. So what is your observation? I've attached the case study and here I'm writing, write all the requirement for this loan application case study. Now let's look at how the GPT is going to come with the output. So this is the input that I've given and let's look at the output. Let it take time. All of you, please observe. Got it. I went through the uploaded case study and I can directly use these, create these documentation, loan application requirement, functional requirement, whatever. Now, while you are using this prompt, what is the issue? All of you, why do I call this? It's very poor prompt that you're using. The reason being, you are trying to be very lazy. You are putting all this on the GPT that you're pretty much attached, and then you're saying that write all the requirement for this loan application, considering that anyways, this chat GPT can go through all those documents mentioned, and then it can help us with whatever documentations and all that. Now, if you go through whatever, again, output, look at the output. You can observe that pretty much it is not able to come up with any of those, again, expectation we had. Reason, this prompt is absolutely not specific in nature. This is just, we have documented in a very, very, very high level. Now let me try to change the prompt. Now what I'll do is, I will write this. So I will again feed this. I will write based on the case study attached. Rewrite the requirement in business requirement document. And now, as you're observing, we are also writing the table of content. We are saying you have to write project business objective, functional requirement, non-functional requirement, assumptions, and all of that. Now let's look at what is going to be the output of this. All of you, make sure you're attentive. Very important discussion we are having. Look at this. Now this has created a BRD in the same format we asked. Pretty much this has covered all those table of content that we are asking ChatGPT to consider. Look at this. So it came up with the business objective, functional requirement, all of those. Let it take time. Calculation logic. Total interest. So this is the second scenarios I'm trying to showcase, and then we'll compare that what is still missing. Okay. Now, team, if I ask you on scale of 5, what is the rating that you can give to this output on scale of 5? Let me know in the comment. On scale of 5, what is the rating we can give to this response, the output that we are given? So you said 3, 3.5. I would say it's not even 3. I would say it's pretty much 2 or 2.5. Because this is not what they're looking for. This is pretty much, they're also understanding it's pretty much copy paste ChatGPT and all that. You're not taking that extra effort required and all. So we'll understand that what is desired, but as of now, I'm just keep on trying to look at different responses, and then we are understanding the psychology so that I can conclude this by a few pointers I have to discuss with all of you. Now, let's go through the third response. Now here, what I'll do is, okay, by the way, let us read the third scenario just to understand that what is the level of detail we have captured in the scenario 3. Let me ask Anupriya, can you unmute and read the scenario 3 for all of us? Anupriya Verma, over to you. If you can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. Scenario 3, right?
Yes, please.
Based on the case study provided, prepare a comprehensive business requirement document strictly following the structure and order below. First one is introduction section that have document propose, intent, audience, project background, business goals or objectives to be achieved. Fifth one is stakeholder. Second point is dependency on existing system. Third one is assumption. Fourth one is requirement scope, in which in scope and out of scope will be mentioned. Fifth one is detailed requirement, business objective, function requirement that are covering calculation logic, validations, UI fields, buttons, and state specific rules. Third point is non-functional requirement, and D is assumption. Additional instruction also given. Ensure the EMI, total interest, and total payable calculation rules are clearly and explicitly documented. The document must be written in a real-world BRD style with sufficient detail to extend approximately 25 pages. Do not add or reorder section beyond what is specified. Follow the exact sequence provided. Where appropriate, conduct limited online research to reference competitive platforms and industry best practices to strengthen the content.
Thank you so much, Anupriya. Now, my question to all of you. How many of you agree that this way we have guided GPT with the right prompt, as in we have provided all the information? We have first, again, filled all those information that which section should have what table of content. We have also stated that it should be 25-pager, a BRD. We have also mentioned those additional, rules to follow. And also, how many of you agree that this time with this input, we might get the desired output, which is good enough for you to get shortlisted? How many of you agree that maybe this can be the one? The right prompt. One of you said it's very detailed. You will be surprised with the results. You'll be very surprised with the results because you're not understanding the psychology still. So I'll give you a quick demo on that. And then I'll talk about that, what is expected out of you. Cool. So most of you think that this is the right prompt, as all of you are again mentioning in the comment section. Now let's go through this team. What I'll do, I will copy paste the same scenario 3. Pretty much all of those information, additional instruction, all of that we have given. Now, look at the response. I'll go back to ChatGPT, ask anything, the input, and let's look at the output. Good job, Swati. We'll identify that what Swati is trying to mention. Now, it says, excellent request. You want a full-scale BRD approx 25 pages. Now, if I look at this BRD, all of you please pay attention. I've given all those pointers. Document purpose, intended audience, project background. Now, if I ask you, okay, let it complete this output, and then I'm going to ask, My ask was 25 pager BRD. My question, if I start from the basic, that is the first pager, introduction to section and all, how many pages do you think this, again, GPT have created? Is it 25 pages or this is close to 5 to 6 pager, pretty much document that is created? What is your observation, team? 5 pager or 25 pager? Although we clearly mentioned that it should be a 25 pager resume. But what is your observation? 5 pager. Team, you are not understanding the psychology. That is, okay, let me first change the prompt and then I'll help all of you understand the psychology a little better. Now let's go ahead and look at the scenario 4. Okay, I'll go back. Swati, can you unmute yourself and read this prompt for all of us? If you can unmute, Swati.
Hi, yes.
Yes, hi, Swati, go ahead.
One second. Scenario, you are acting as a lead business analyst with advanced documentation expertise. Using the provided case study, develop a comprehensive business requirement document focused specifically on drafting a detailed project background section that captures the context, business environment, current challenges, and the rationale for initiating this project. Okay.
Thank you so much, Swati. Now, team, what is your observation? You are mentioning your intent. You are saying this to the whatever GPTs you're saying that, yeah. Can all of you go on mute? Some background noise? Yeah, thank you so much. So you are saying that we want to develop a BRD, but for now you are saying focus specifically on drafting a detailed project background section. So team, what is the thought process? Very important for you. What is your step one? Step one for you is to identify which deliverable to create with whatever hint that is given. All of you, please try to connect the dots. One of a case study I showed, which was saying you have to come up with a deliverable which is consumed by both the implementation team and also the user. So the first step for you is to identify which deliverable to create. Second, you should be knowing in that given deliverable what all should be the table of content. And third, instead you are asking ChatGPT that, you are giving all independence saying, hey, you have to help us create a BRD and all. Go ahead one section at once and keep on adding that. So let's now try to put this prompt and then we'll observe that what kind of input it is coming up with. So all of you, if I just look at the project background, I'll go back. So if you look at this right now, project background, pretty much this is the project background for time being. Look at this. Now let's try to compare. So only one section we have asked ChatGPT for. Look at this. Let it fetch all those info, because if you remember, we already said that you also have to do some competitive analysis going through all existing online applications and all that. That is why it is taking a bit of time, although it's already on this instant model, but still it is taking a bit of time. But my question to all of you, imagine now you are creating a BRD. Now this time, instead asking GPT that you have to create a PRD, you are actually going section wise. So if you now just look at project background, and if you would like to give it a read again on a high level, and if you look at the detail it has captured and all, this is pretty much, I would say 1.5 pager just for the context. My question, do you think this approach can take us through creating 25 pager business requirement document? Yes or no in the comment. Will this lead us to creating 25 pager BRD if we go section wise? Yes or no in the comment? So team, what is the thought process, all of you, before I talk about more case studies and how, again, we can leverage? Let's understand the thought process. All of you, please pay focus. So when it comes to any of those GPTs, you need to understand prompting is always going to be the key, irrespective of whatever platform, whatever models you're using and all that. I'll talk about those models and all, what is the challenge we have and how this will be even clearer after 3-4 months down the line. But if you look at it right now, look at this. Why those responses, the 1 and 2 and all that I showed, why we were considering that as poor? Reason, it was too broad. There was no structured, structure specified, and we were not able to define the format. we were not able to guide the AI on what details to consider, followed by, of course, the output, as you observed, it was incomplete, inconsistent, and all that. However, if you look at that excellent prompting, the last option we followed, you pretty much observed that the excellent prompting, first of all, you started as role or context. You said, hey, I am working as a lead business analyst. A team, why this is important? Again, understand it this way. Think it this way. Think it very practically. Let's say you are appearing for an interview and in your resume, you have stated that you are someone who have experience with business requirement document. Now let's compare two candidates. Candidate one, this candidate is having less than 2 years of experience, or let's say 0 to 2 years. However, candidate 2 is having experience that is in the range 7 to 10 years. My question to all of you, if the candidate or applicant 1 in the interview is saying that my job in my existing project is to take sign off from the stakeholder on a BRD versus I am assisting my lead BA in documenting BRD, what is making more sense for this candidate having 0 to 2 years of experience? Is it to take sign off or is it to assist the lead BA in the documentation approach? What is your thought? 1 or 2, taking sign off or assisting the lead BA? Team, this is exact mistake that most of you are doing, because you need to understand, as far as your interview is concerned, all of you, please pay attention. 3 things should always map in your interview. So I will again explain that to you with one of a thing that is in our website that you can also go and check later point in time. So, okay, all of you, please pay attention. Let me take you through this. All of you, if you go through one of a post PIBA assignment that we are giving again to our learners coming in the PIBA program and all, why they are able to come up with those results. You would have observed me posting about my alumni's bagging offer with Big Four. And by the way, team, all of those claims that I do, these are the names. Each of these profile, if I show you, their LinkedIn profile is mapped. Feel free to go and get a validation from them. And that with all that study, the research that we have made, we are this confident in telling that what companies are expecting and all that. So coming back on the thought process, all of you look at this. If I talk about the assignment that we are giving to our learners, each one of them is asked to work on this post PIB assignment. Look at this. What is the assignment that is given to them? So I will ask Malhar, can you take us through that post PIB assignment? Read the whatever verbiage on our website. Over to you, Malhar. Alifia, if you can give it a read. Alifia. Okay, I'll circle back to Anupriya.
Okay, so prepare for BA interviews by practicing hands-on project explanation to ensure you can effectively justify your project. Focus on the following: mind map, visualize system end-to-end, use case diagram, identify user and use cases, create wireframes of all screens, create detailed BRD, create process flow diagram, competitor analysis top 3, SWOT analysis, feature prioritization, use Moscow, write user story and acceptance criteria, perform gap analysis, your team size and role.
Thank you so much, Anupriya. Now, team, what is your observation? Even if we are confident in creating these documentation end-to-end, and you are able to explain that to your recruiter for an upcoming interview, that all of this, not even the question is why I'm showing you all this. If you are appearing for your next interview, one of a recommendation that I will give to all of you is that make sure you are working on this list that I'm providing, so that in your interview, if they're asking you anything to do with any of these documentation, if you have already created these documentation at your level, you will be crystal clear as far as your response is concerned. And the most important, as you're observing, what is your roles and responsibilities? So team, 3 things going up balancing. First, your years of experience as a business analyst. So, I mean, even if you're not coming from a BA experience, while you are trying to tweak your experience, then also it makes sense that the years of experience you have, followed by what is your current CTC, followed by what is your roles and responsibilities. So if you are pretty much able to decode these three, you are absolutely going to crack your opportunity, considering that you are pretty much confident on all of these. So team, I will recommend all of you go through this list later point in time and be very, very sure that you are confident on all these parameters that I've listed. And now when I'm going to talk about prompts and all that, it will be easy for you to, again, come up with that story narration and all. Although I'll talk about some disclaimers as well, then you'll be pretty clear on these are the expectations. Now team, a quick question. How many of you agree that if you have end-to-end clarity before your upcoming interview on these parameters, you are very, very confident to face your upcoming BA interview, irrespective of whichever company it is? Yes or no? If you are practically clear on all these parameters, you are confident to face your upcoming interview. How many of you agree that you are pretty confident? Yes or no? Yes or no? It's very subjective. Yes or no? Will you be confident? Yes or no? Yes or no? All of you? It's pretty subjective. You should not go ahead with a sheep approach that, and why do I say it's subjective? Because a couple of you might be thinking that, Dipanshu, on top of this, I should also have the domain knowledge. Only then I will be able to crack the opportunity. My question, how many of you believe that domain knowledge is mandatory for a BA? Only then they are able to crack the opportunity. Let me know in the comment. How many of you believe that domain knowledge is also mandatory on top of these BA skills? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Now, those who are saying yes, let me give you a homework. If you'll do your homework, you will observe that there are 35 domains on which the BS can be mapped. My question, is it possible, is it practical that before your upcoming BA interview, you are going to have in-depth knowledge of all 35 domains? Yes or no in the comment. Is it possible that all 35 domains you learned before going for the next BA interview? That is your team. I will tell you what is my observation with my learners and all. Companies are going to focus, the first priority for them is, are you good in the core BA skills? Second priority for them is how good you are in terms of domain and all. And let me tell you, there are success stories from alumni where they are not having even 1 day of experience on whatever domains they got hired with. So that is where I'm saying, prioritize your core BA knowledge and then try to run behind domain knowledge and all, because this thing is something you can also try to learn and acquire part of your job. And just to support all of you with that domain, I know I'm going little off track, but just to let all of you know, there are already a lot of resources that we have attached on our website. So you can go through, all of those are free resources that you can go through and you can try to download any of those. Payment, domain, banking, interview questions, all of that. And we'll keep on adding more domains in coming months. Pretty much 6 more domains you can expect in a week of time, and we'll keep on adding this list so that all of you are going through those domain self-help guide, and that is helping you. Maybe if you think that domain is acting like a blocker. Now, coming back to our discussion that we were having. Now, team, let me take you through one of another case study. Again, that was given to one of my alumni, which is from Q3 Technologies. And then we'll try to understand that. Again, what are a few other use cases where we can leverage, again, the AIs and all that. All of you, please pay attention. So if you look at this given case study, pretty much this talks about the company that, this is a Q3 BA skill. Q3 is the company, again, trying to hire for the BA. Skill assessment. This is your opportunity to show your analytics and a sneak peek into day-to-day work of BA, at Q3. That is, again, more like a subset of what you will be doing, once, you get hired with the company and all. Now, what is the section? It says, as a BA, you are working with one of our client who's in healthcare domain. The client need a system where admin can log in, create operator, create surgical product. Once operators are created, they can log in and generate quotation of various products before selling them to the different hospital. Please create a detailed document that can be shared with the development team so that they can understand the requirement from it and develop the system as expected by the client. Now, team, look at this. This is exactly what I'm trying to make you understand. Now, if you look at this verbiage, they are saying create a detailed document. They're not saying a high-level document. Create a detailed document that can be shared with the implementation or development team. They're not saying that this document we have to take sign off from the business side. They are saying this is a document we have to create to be shared with the development team for the implementation to happen. And now they have said following modules shall be covered. So authentication, operator management, and now they have also again given us those screens and all. Reference screen 1, reference screen 2, and look at those again fields that they have given. So personal details. If I zoom this a little more, I hope all of you can read those again, the field names and all given. Yes or no? All of you able to read those UI fields? Yes or no? In the case study? Association ID, first name, all of that. Okay, cool. Thank you, Hardik. Yes, thank you, Nipriya. So again, they have also attached those reference screen. Now, if you observe, their ask is format this presentation in a presentable way that needs to be projected for a potential client. You have the creative way to treat as you like, but the theme needs to be in a formal style. And team, okay, a quick question. You might be thinking that why they are, so this is also a hint, which maybe I'm not sure how many of you are able to decode this. Let me ask you a question. How many of you know the basic and the fundamental difference between BA deliverable and BA work product? How many of you know the basic difference? What is the fundamental difference between BA deliverable and BA work product? Yes or no? How many of you know the difference? BA deliverable, BA work product. How many of you know the difference? Yes or no? Yes or no? All of us? How many of you know the difference between deliverable and BA work product? Now team, let me tell you this. If you do not know the difference, they are not asking you to create a BA work product. Let me ask you a question. If I talk about mind map, is this a BA work product or this is a BA deliverable? You can write D in short or you can write WP in short. Mind map, is it a deliverable or is it a work product? Let me know in the comment. Is it a deliverable or is it a work product? Let me know in the comment. Is it a deliverable? Is it a work product? Now I can see one of you said deliverable. This is exactly what I'm trying to make all of you understand, team, that GPTs can help you with a good documentation, but if you're not clear with these basic questions, okay, in one of a company, this question was asked in the last round that, can you tell us what is the difference between deliverable and work product? So if you are not clear on that logically, that what is the flow, at what stage you create work product and then why you try to turn those into deliverable, pretty much you're not in that same sync with the company. So that is where team, in short, if I have to say, they are not asking you to create a work product. They are actually asking you to come up with that professional or formal document, which is going to be there for the implementation team. But another catch that you're observing here is that they are saying, format this presentation in a way that needs to be projected for a potential client, which is again a conflict. Initially, they said implementation team, and now they're saying which can be projected for a potential client. And when it comes to projecting to a client and all, pretty much, if you're not aware, RFP bidding process and all that, where different deliverables, not sure if BAs are supposed to create or there's going to be an IT bidding team creating and all that. So that is the level of clarity. But coming back to how we are leveraging, again, GPTs and all that, let us try to understand that, how we can try to go about this particular case study. Noting one thought process, very important. Whenever you are given a case study to solve, you should understand it very wisely that there will absolutely be some of their competitive platforms available. For example, let me ask you a question. Let's say one of a case study is asking you to come up with maybe a document. Let's say they have clearly stated that they are expecting you to create a PRD, product requirement document. And while they are expecting you to create a PRD, they are saying it is for a food delivery platform. My question to you, is this a new platform that we are expecting, or do we already have similar or competitive platforms available? Let me know in the comment. Is it a new product, new platform, or we already have the competitive or similar platforms available? So team, if we already have existing or similar, why we are not leveraging GPTs for the competitive analysis? Okay, a quick question. How many, okay, let's try to compare two of the competitors in India, that is Swiggy and Zomato. How many of you agree that 80% of the feature or modules that we are seeing in both Swiggy and Zomato remains the same? The difference can be user experience. How many of you agree that 80% of feature remains the same? The difference is user experience as far as these two platforms are concerned. Agree? Yes or no? Do we agree to this? That 80% feature Swiggy or Zomato is the same. The difference is the user experience. That how much of time it is taking for you to order on Swiggy versus Zomato. Agree on this, all of us? Okay, now the thought process says if they are giving you any case study, why not we are leveraging GPTs for that competitive analysis? That is one thought process. And that is where team now, let us try to understand that in order to solve this given case study, what kind of different prompts and all that we can use. So again, let me take you back to the discussion where I left. And this time what I'll do is, let me come up with another prompt. All of you, what I did is, I have attached all these three screenshots that again I've taken from. So again, what I'm referring here is that if you go through that given case study, team, this is very important. Make sure all of you are attentive. So what I'm saying is that they have given us three screens: screen 1, reference screen 1, reference screen 2, and reference screen 3. What we have done here is that if you're observing, I have uploaded all those three screens to the GPT platform. And now what I'm doing next is that, so this is that, again, a problem statement given. Now look at the prompt that I've used. I'm saying I'm currently seeking a senior BA role and have been assigned, again, a case study with the following problem statement. And all of these as per that case study I've mentioned. In addition, I've also provided with screen design representing the existing workflow. My role is to analyze these screens, identify gaps, and recommend improvement to enhance user experience. This includes suggesting what additional feed could be added or which one can be edited or removed to streamline functionality and improve usability. Team, all of you, always stick with the thumb rule. Always. You need to understand that as a business analyst, if you're going and joining any of the company, let's talk about any organization. Let's say, again, you are hired from Accenture and you have to support one of a business. Let's say this business, is a restaurant in Bangalore. So the owner reached out to Accenture and they're expecting software solution. Now understand this team. Your job as a business analyst is support them with a digital transformation, and it can be combination of different software solution. You need to understand, if you look at the user journey of a customer, user journey of a customer is going to be the same. We have to understand, as far as that user journey is concerned, how we are going to help them as far as the experience is concerned. That is one thought process. Second, if they are already using some software solution in place, you will not be able to add a lot of new modules, a lot of features to it. So while you are trying to solve the case study, your major focus should be how are we going to enhance the user experience? And that is where, if you're observing, pretty much the entire thought process is revolving around this. It says, in addition, I have been provided with screen representing the existing workflow. My role is to analyze these screens, which is nothing but the existing flow that you're using in form of the wireframe that they have given, identify gaps, and recommend improvement to enhance user experience. This includes suggesting what additional field could be added, which could be edited, removed to streamline the functionality and improve usability. That is in direct sync with the user experience. Now, let's look at what is the output we're going to get as far as this problem statement is concerned. And team, then you will observe that this is going to be the game changer in solving your given case studies. Now look at that prompt. So I'll go back. Okay, here it is. Okay, so pretty much the same that I've just gone through. I have pasted it here. And now Boom, let's flood this with all these inputs that we have. Now let's look at what is going to be the output coming in. All of you, please pay attention. Let's have a bit of patience. Let's go again, let it go through the screens and all. Okay. Now look at this. It says analysis of provided screen. Screen 1, search list screen. Current fields, observations and gap. Look at this. Missing email, contact number, no status column, filter limited to type, again, name or pagination exists, but no item per page selector, all of that. Suggested addition or edits. Same goes to screen 2, same goes to screen 3. My question to all of you, let's say you created a document and you have just copied and pasted this. What is going to be the rating on scale of 5 you're going to give to the responses coming in on scale of 5 again with simple copy and paste approach? Let me know in the comment section. What is going to be the rating? Simple copy and paste approach. I would not even give it 1 on scale of 5. Reason? They are pretty much clear that it's a simple copy paste from ChatGPT. That is where team I keep on saying. Make sure you are actually working with the BA mindset. You are leveraging GPTs. I'm not at all denying to it, but you are using all these inputs, coming up with the BA tools to create these manually, which is definitely going to save your time. But using tools along with the AI inputs is going to save a lot of your time. So let me show you something, all of you. Let us go through one of our solution document to this case study, and then I'm going to make all of you realize one of our mistake that we are committing when you believe that 100% we're going to, again, rely on GPTs and all that. Look at this. So let me show you the solution. So pretty much the table of content we would have created. Look at this, the table of content, we created that. These are going to be, again, the sections we'll create. I want all of you to focus on something. Look at this. My major focus is, all of you, please pay attention. Let me try to increase the font. Look at this. It says, the current state represents the existing functionality process for creating an operator. These are the, again, feeds, and this is the existing screens that they have given. Now, if you go through the future state, it says, the desired future state include enhancement and improvement for create operator functionality, layout improvement, group related field, and these are those that you have grouped together because now this is more meaningful. The fields are not scattered here and there. Again, the same logic. User experience is the key, followed by shift timing, enhanced functionality. Now, team, and these are those addition or edits that you did. Now look at this. You have used any relevant BA tool to create this wireframe, and you're also attaching it on top of that case study that you're giving. So team, how many of you are able to observe that? This is actually showcasing your hard work. It is not simple copy and paste that you are doing. You are leveraging AI, but you are not stopping at copying and pasting approach. You are using any relevant tools, and then you are also trying to create that what is going to be the future screens that we can use as far as user experience is concerned. How many of you agree that this is a combination of smart and hard work? Let me know in the comment. How many of you agree that this is a combination of smart and hard work? And pretty much, if I take you through this entire table of content, by the way, team, it takes close to 4 to 5 hours of time to go through these table of content, the program that I ran. But on a high level, what I'm trying to make all of you understand is that pretty much if you think that all of these are doable just by copying and pasting, let me tell you, you are not using the right route. And when I say this, again, going back, let's say I am expecting the GPT to create a wireframe for me. Look at this. I'm asking that, help me create a future state, or instead future state, I will write improvised wireframe with given inputs. Now let's look at what GPT is going to do. All of you, please pay attention. So this is again giving you those inputs. Let us try to force GPT that, no, we are expecting you to create a real-time wireframe. Let's see how it goes. Let it come with all those inputs. And then we'll try to see that what is the response, the output that we're going to get. Okay, so now it is saying I can quickly draw these wireframe in again. Yes. So you can write that. You can again come back with the input saying, let's look at how it is drawing. And is it as per, again, what companies are expecting? Let's have patience. Let's give 2 minutes of time. So, okay. It says I have drafted low-level balsamic style wireframe for the operator, whatever that you can see. It says, would you like me also prepare a, again, field level, whatever. Now, I'm keep on saying that I am looking for screen to be attached in the solution document. Let's again give it a try. Let's look at this. The last time I'm forcing again GPTs to come up with those prompts. Now, look at this. Now it is getting started. Now let's see. Let's have patience. How many of you are excited to see that what is the output it's going to come up with? It will take 2 minutes, team. Are we excited to see what is the best it will come up with all those prompts that we have done? It's going to be very eye-opening for all of you. Let's try to observe. Because I'm not sure if you're spending that much of time in actually going through different platforms, different models and all. I will also talk about the research that we are doing at our level. So that, again, insight is also going to be very, very eye-opening for all of you. So let's wait and observe what is the output we're going to get with this prompt that we have just shared. You will have to give me additional 5 minutes, team. Pretty much it's already 8:28, but in last 5 minutes, I'll wrap up all of these discussions. I hope this is like insightful and this is helping all of you to solve your upcoming the case studies and all. So I will just request all of you to give me additional 5-7 minutes of time so that I can help on a very, conclude on something which is meaningful for all of you so that you're able to think about that thought process and all that later point. Let's wait. Okay. All of you can see that this started coming up. So far, what I can see is that spellings are correct. Add new operator, screen, operator listing, search screens, all of that is correct. Whatever all that we are able to see by now. Let's wait. Let's have patience. Okay. Now, let me try to zoom this a little. My question to all of you is that, will you be able to copy paste this screen in the solution document? Yes or no? Will you be able to copy paste this wireframe in that case study solution? Yes or no? Waiting for a response. Yes or no? Kavita said no. Kriti said no. Sandeep said no. Okay. Team, I will also not recommend any one of you to use this wireframe. If you're doing so, believe me, you cannot expect that you will be able to qualify the case study. So team, however, if I talk about taking the inputs and creating the wireframe at your level, is it doable? Yes or no? Taking inputs, getting those high level idea, but working on those inputs and creating the wireframe at your level, is it doable? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is it doable? So team, always use the common sense. Whenever you are solving case study, do not 100% rely on AI. You can absolutely leverage AI in lot of ways, but it should always be combination of hard work and the smart work. Now, why do I say that? Because you will observe in the coming days, in coming months. So, okay, let me take you through another slide, and then I'm going to conclude with something very, very informative and meaningful for all of us. Team, if I look at all these platforms, all of you look at this. All of you look at this. If I look at different platforms, different models, how many of you are observing that there is a very close competition happening in all these different platforms, different models? And by the way, you might be observing that every week, different platforms are coming with different models, different features to lucrate the customers, use their applications and all that. How many of you are observing huge competition in all these platforms and all that, where it's again very, very difficult for us to identify which model, which tool to use at our level and all? How many of you agree that there is a lot of chaos with different tools, different models and all that? Do you agree to me on this, that there is a lot of chaos? Okay, let me give you another thought process, all of you. If I talk about Zomato, which was started with different name back in year 2008, and then, in India, of course, and then back in 2014, we have a new competitive platform, Swiggy. My question to all of you is that, how many of you remember that back in 2014, there were 10 plus food delivery application? However, if I ask you in the year 2025, apart from Swiggy and Zomato, can you tell me any platform that we are actively using after 10 years? Yes or no in the comments? Do you remember, or are we actively using any other food delivery application? Yes or no, apart from Zomato or Swiggy? Yes or no? Are we using any major similar to Swiggy and Zomato the way we are using and all that? Yes or no? The answer to that is absolutely no. And this is same thought process as far as these many tools and models are concerned. One of my recommendation for all of you is that, as of now, do not try to buy any of these tools from your pocket. Reason, if I talk about AI consideration in business analysis and all, you need to understand that we are still trying to come on a common consensus. Okay, let me ask you a question, and then this discussion is going to make more sense to all of you. Let's say, if I talk about opening a bank in India, let's say there are a lot of banks. All of that are governed by one of a regulatory body. We call it Reserve Bank of India. So this is the regulatory body. So let's say if I want to open a bank after a year or 6 months, I will not be able to come up with my own rules. Let's say I want to give 15% again on FD or some bad practices. RBI will not let me do so. However, if I ask you, can you name any of a regulatory body and leveraging all those ethical consideration and all these different platforms are actually under the umbrella of that regulatory body? Yes or no in the comment section. Do we have any regulatory body which is ensuring that there is no bad practice, there is no deep fake and all of that? Let me know if you are aware of that, again, regulatory body. Let me know the name in the comment section. So the problem is that lot of platforms are coming up with very fancy options and all, but the real problem is these. That is, we are still trying to get more clarity on the role, and is it actually going to impact the job for BA? I would say this is definitely going to impact the job, because if a company is hiring 5, they maybe they don't have to hire 5. They just need 2 BAs, and the 2 BAs can again take care of all the projects and all, because they are going to leverage AI. Second is skill enhancement and upskilling. Third is practical implementation of AI, ethical consideration and all, and integration of AI with BA job. But team, you need to understand, if you are observing in none of the job description, you will observe they have started specifying the name of the tools or specifying the name of the model, that as a BA, you should be good at using these tools or these models or these platforms, because they are still trying to consider on these parameters. And maybe after 4 months, 6 months down the line, there will be a consensus that yes, These are those parameters we have to consider. And maybe you won't find those many competitors using those many use cases after 6 months down the line and all, because what is the major miss right now? It's the regulatory body. And having that said, team, I'm keep on saying that as of now, I will not recommend any one of you to buy any of the tools or any of the models from your pocket. However, I will recommend all of you that keep on leveraging different tools and try to observe that how we can use different prompts, different tools we are using. So let's say you're using same prompt, but you are trying to again leverage 3 different platforms for that. You're using Gemini, you're using ChatGPT, or you are using Perplexity. So what I'm saying is that as of now, your major focus should be more on the explorations. And team, let me tell you, we at InteractX is keeping very close eye on whenever any organization is coming up with any job description for business analyst. We are, again, there's a dedicated team sitting to observe that what are the growing expectations of companies and all that. And just to assure, when that time comes, we'll definitely come up with the update and with the recommendation that what tools to use, tools to use, and what can be the disclaimer that one can have. But as of now, I will not recommend any one of you to buy any of these tools spending money from your pocket. Am I clear on my expectation, all of you? Yes or no, along with the logic. Are we clear on the expectation? Yes or no? Only try to spend time, explore these tools, but do not buy it from your pocket. Do not do that, because later point in time, the dynamics is going to change a lot. As of now, companies are trying to, again, experiment a lot of things. That is where, if I now, again, take you back to the discussion we were having, pretty much, again, I'm keep on saying that different tools and different models companies are leveraging. And that is where I'm also going to support all of you with, again, different prompts. So Mitesh is saying, what will happen if we paste screenshot we got from ChatGPT? Mitesh, one word answer to that is you will get rejected, because it is not just about the smart work that you are simply copying, pasting screenshot and all. Again, it is important. So as I was showing you that as far as those, again, solution and all of that is concerned, as I've already showed you, where is that solution? Okay, just a minute. I'll reshare my screen for Mitesh. So Mitesh, as far as the wireframing is concerned, you need to understand that you should be pretty good as far as your wireframing skill is concerned. I'm sharing my screen again. And let me take you through a few screens that will help you, give you clarity that what is the level of clarity you should have while you work on any of those wireframes involved. So I'm resharing my screen. Yes. So all of you, let's go through. So again, any tools we can use. This tool I've used, again, I would say Balsamic. I know that there are a couple of tools coming in claiming that we can leverage AI for the wireframes and all that. And that is where, team, I was about to tell, take you through a couple of tools and all that I want all of you to explore. So team, what I'm saying is that very first step for you is that you are manually able to create these screens. Only then you will be able to leverage AI. So I'm not denying to the fact that there will be the time when you will be able to create this level screens using AI as well, which is going to save a lot of your time. But for time being, I am saying try to explore more on different tools, the recommendations that I'm going to give you. So if I take you back to the discussion, look at this. So after the session, I'm going to share with all of you the prompts that you can use for different use cases. All of these followed by some cool recommendation that you can, again, try to use at your level for different use cases and all that. So all these content, like I'll share with you, like in a while, like those who have joined the session and like they are staying till this late. And team, one of the important announcement. Before I talk about the next announcement, quick question. How many of you agree that today's session, it was insightful, meaningful? I was able to kind of guide you with something without wasting your 90 minutes of time in today's agenda and all. How many of you agree that, yes, it was a good session, it was worth joining and all that? Agree? Yes or no? Agree? Okay, cool. So team, one of our again, 5-day series that we are starting. So I will first give you a bit of plot. So if I talk about, okay, all of you please pay attention. So if you go through this group that I'm showcasing, this group we created in the month of Feb this year, where few of my alumni, they were saying that Dibanshu, with whatever you cover in the PIBA program and all, sticking with all of those pointers, we created our resume and all. We did all those, kind of tips and tricks that you shared, but we are still not getting call. And we were also surprised that what changes have made maybe with ATS compliance and all that. And that is where we conducted 1 week of experiment. So if you observe, 1 week of experiment, the result were very, I would say, eye-opening for all of us. That is, if you look at this, after 1 week of experiment where we identified 7 volunteers from different roles and all, they were able to get these many calls per week, 7 calls, 3 calls to, and look at this, look at the companies and all, Capgemini, HSBC, Cogni, EY, PwC, KPMG. So whatever that we learned in that experiment, we are also going to come up with 5-day series on our Insta channel. And that is where I'm sharing one of a link in the group, again, the WhatsApp group. And I will recommend all of you that, you make sure you follow that channel that we have created. This will keep you updated with whatever, again, AI trends coming in, and also will help you understand that what tips and tricks you can follow as far as the company's expectations are concerned and all that. The last announcement for all of you is that I have started receiving, again, a lot of DMs team for the upcoming program, like when we are starting and all. So this Saturday, we are starting the upcoming batch, and you can try to go ahead, look at all, the details on our website. So pretty much in one batch, we only entertain 40 participants, so that all checklists that I showed you, part of post PIB assignments and all, you are able to deliver the results in your interview and all that. So those who are interested for that program, one of the prerequisite for you is that you have to apply for that one-to-one strategy call, where you have to fill up a detailed form. In that form, we'll understand the problem statements and all you are going through. We'll go ahead with the shortlisting process. Only if you are committed, we will be able to support you in this PIBA program that we run. So I think pretty much we are clear with the agendas and all that we had. If you're interested for that program starting this Saturday, you can go through the website and you can apply for, again, one-to-one strategy call. If you are getting shortlisted, then I'll be able to consider you for the program starting this Saturday. So I think we are pretty much clear on the agendas. I hope the session was insightful. All these resources that I've covered, you can expect that in 24 hours of time. And I will see you again in some other session, maybe for 90 minutes. So to make sure that you're always updated with AI coming in and whatever challenges that we are facing as business analysts. So thanks, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'll see you in the upcoming. Thanks all. Thanks for having me again. Thank you, team. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mitesh, Aishwarya, Alan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you, Anurag, Anusha, Ria, Ramesh, Hardik, Sandhya.
Thank you, Divanshu.
Thank you so much, Omkar. Thank you for having me.
Divanshu, just one question.
Yes, Omkar.
Is there any way to get added at Naukri optimization group?
Oh, sorry, come again, Omkar.
Is there any way to I get added in that Naukri optimization
Omkar, that is
group?
our internal group that we created. Like it was just for the experiment purpose. But as I've said, that you can get yourself added, like sort of you can follow the group that I've said, not group, but the interacts, the LinkedIn, the Insta page that we have, and we'll keep you updated on all those trends coming in and all. But we can absolutely help you with a resume review call and all. So you can just follow that group and you will get notification about if there is any such process that we are starting near soon.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Divanshu, maybe I need your 5 to 10 minutes. After 10 to 15 days, I'll text you accordingly. But still, I'm just informing you. I'll text you out. I have to reach you one-on-one.
Sure. Omkar, you have my LinkedIn, you can reach out and we'll take it forward from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thanks for the time.
All right. So if we can start dropping off. Thank you for having me. I can see one of our questions, support for placement and all after completion. You can fill up the apply form. Let me go through your details and then we can have that discussion in one-to-one strategy call. So thank you everyone for having me. Mitesh, Aishwarya, Alan, Anu, Anupriya, Anusha, Mallory, Deepak, Hardik, Jeevan, John, Mitesh, Padmavati, Ilakya. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Okay, anyways, Reshma, Sandeep, Sandhya, Sheikh, Vivian, thanks all. Thank you for having me. Or if we can start dropping off. I'll see you in the upcoming one. Thank you, Alekya. You can also drop off. Thanks for having me. All right, we'll call it done. Thanks all. Thanks for having me. I'll see you in the upcoming one.